Hey boys and girls, we're going to review and talk about some 3D shapes that you probably saw in kindergarten. And today your independent practice is going to have you use those 3D shapes to make new shapes. But I wanted to review them with you so that you knew what the shapes were that you were putting together. So first of all, 3D shapes are fat, not flat. Fat, not flat. So for example, this piece of paper is flat. Okay, but this cube is fat. If I can hold it in my hand and put my fingers around it, it's a 3D shape. If it is just like this, flat, then it's 2D. And those are this triangle and the rectangle and the squares and all those shapes that we talked about before. So first we want to review what these are. These are all spheres. Say it with me. Sphere. Say ear, sphere. A sphere has a curved surface. Okay, this is a sphere. It's a ball. So you might see all of these things probably all around you, except for maybe the globe. You probably may not have one of those around at home. But all these other ones, I'm sure you've been playing around with some balls as you've been home. The next one is the cone. Everyone's favorite shape because it holds ice cream. So you can see the cones in ice cream cones and in traffic cones and party hats and toys and snow cones. And they look like this. Next one is the cube. You've been using cubes all year. Some people have Rubik's cubes. Do you have one at home? If you do, that's why we call it a Rubik's cube, because it's the shape of a cube. So, and we also have dice, ice, this box that you can put some books in, present boxes. And I have one example of one right in front of you. See? There is my cube. Do you know where you might see a cube at home? Next is our cylinder. Everyone say it with me. Cylinder. Clap it. Cylinder. 3 syllables. Cylinder has 2 flat surfaces or faces. That's what we call those flat surfaces. We call them faces. It's kind of funny, isn't it? In the shape of a circle and a curved surface. So as 2 flat sides and then a curved surface. It looks like this. It's a can. So if you see a can of soup or a can of beans, it's 2 flat sides. See my hands? That's what we call the faces. That's these sides that I'm putting my hands on. Those are the faces. They're flat. But everything else is round all the way around. So like a fire extinguisher, a piece of wood, a water bottle, paper towel roll, toilet paper roll, or a candle, or a can of soup. And the next one is another one that you've seen all around you, but probably didn't even know what it was called, and that is called a rectangular prism. Say it with me. Rectangular prism. What word do you notice in the word rectangular? What does that sound like? If you said rectangle, you are right. This word right here, rectangle, is part of the word rectangular. Rectangular means it's in the shape of a rectangle. Prism means that it's not flat. It is a thicker object. So it has 6 flat surfaces or faces in the shape of a rectangle and no curved surfaces. So remember that the cylinder, it was curved all the way around here. This is a rectangular prism. It is not curved. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flat sides. Those flat sides we always call faces. Okay, so it has 6 flat surfaces in the shape of a rectangle. See how right along here is the shape of a rectangle. Take a look at these examples of rectangles that you might see as you are outside or in your house, like the side of the semi-truck. Right in the back of the semi-truck, you can see the rectangular face, but that whole thing is three-dimensional. It's a box that carries food or other things. The fish tank is a rectangular prism. Your juice box is a rectangular prism. A brick, Kleenex boxes, those are all rectangular prisms. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sort these shapes, and I'm going to move my picture up a little bit so I'm out of the way. We're going to put them in the correct 3D shape. Okay, so we've got our cylinder, our cone, our cube, our rectangular prism, and our sphere. Okay, so we got our dice here. What are those? You said cube, you are right. Ooh, he's going behind there. Yep. What about our globe? Where does that go? You said sphere, you are right. Goes right over there. Oh, he disappeared. What's this? This side looks like a rectangle, right? But it's a 3D object, it's not flat. You said rectangular prism, you are right. What about the basketball? Another sphere. What about the traffic cone? Where does that go? Right, it's right next to it, isn't it? There it is. Oop, it disappeared. It ate it up. What about the fire extinguisher? Is it a sphere? No, it's not round. It's not. It doesn't have 6 flat sides. It's not pointy on top. You may think it is, but it's not like a cone. Ooh, cylinder. Let's see. 2 flat faces and curved around in the middle. Yep, it's a cylinder. What about this? Snow cone, right? Is a cone. What about the box for a present? Now, it doesn't have 2 longer sides, so it's not a rectangular prism. Yep, it's a cube. What about the water bottle? Where does it fit? Now, it's got curved around the sides. Remember, if you hold it, it's curvy around the middle, right? So rectangular prisms aren't curvy, so it can't be that one. But what about the cylinder? Could it be a cylinder? Yep, you're right. What about this one? It's not curved in the middle like a cylinder, but it is longer, and I see like a rectangular shape right here. Well, that means it's going to be a rectangular prism. Yay, good job, guys. We did it. Now remember, say it with me. Cylinder, pyramid, rectangular prism, sphere, cube, and cone. Now I'm going to show you what you're going to do with those when you do your work today. Okay, boys and girls, so your independent practice today has you building with 3D shapes. So remember, we've talked about our sphere, our cone. I'm going to hold it so you can see it. Our cylinder, our cube, our rectangular cylinder, and one thing we hadn't talked about is our half sphere. Okay, so this is a whole sphere. This is half a sphere. Okay, so now they're asking us to circle the 3D shapes that could be put together to make the object. So this is our rocket, and then they circled the cylinder because it is the bottom part of the rocket, and they circled the cone because it makes that top. Okay, look at this thing. How might I make these? I think I can find these shapes here, so I'm going to pull them out. It looks like these two, isn't it? Maybe in this direction or another direction. What are these two shapes? What's this? It's a rectangular prism, right? And this is a cube, like dice. I could roll it, right? So for this one, I'm going to, oops, I'm sorry, boys and girls. So for this one, I'm going to circle. I'm going to circle my rectangular prism and my cube, because those are the two shapes that make this one. What shapes make this? What about the two shapes that make this? Or this one? Think about these. Look at them carefully. And then think about this question. John wants to combine or put together 6 green cubes to make a bigger cube. So these are his 6 cubes. Can John do this? Can he take 6 cubes and make a bigger cube? I think he can. I wonder if you could draw what that would look like. That always helps me. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have fun with your shapes. When you're all done, I wonder if you can find some 3D shapes that are in your house or outside. They're all around us.